If you're new, you may not be aware of the 4 acts. Now, Ken knows all about the 4 acts. He can tell you about them forwards, backwards, sideways, everywhere. But if you're new, then, Mira, you may not know about the 4 acts. Even Johan may have forgotten it from last night. Just as a play can have 4 acts, your speech is 4 acts. A act, C act, T act, and S act. Attention, content, technique, and selling. And the thing I've discovered, and you may already have seen this if you've been here before, is that 3 of these 4 acts are very easy. People just get them. They understand. For instance, when I talk about getting your audience's attention, does that make sense? You know what happens when someone loses your attention? Mary, you know what happens when someone loses it? She's demonstrating.
Right now.
She's demonstrating exactly. She's demonstrating it right now. Perfect, beautiful. Just the way we practice it. Great, great example. Attention, right at the very beginning. You get that. Content. You know what content is, right? If you're giving a speech up there, you pretty much know content is what you're talking about. No problem. Content. Selling. Anybody confused what selling is? Anybody ever been on the internet confused what selling is? Because those ads keep popping up at you, don't they? They keep popping up here, buy this, buy that, buy that. You know what selling is? Okay, that's not a problem. This is the problem. Technique. It confuses so many people because it's the way your mind works. When you're speaking, you naturally think, okay, attention. Okay, attention, I don't need to focus on that. That's the audience's thing. Content, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, but this is all for the audience. Selling, yeah, I'm selling to them, I get it. Technique, that's mine. That's mine. I'm up here, what am I doing, where am I standing, where am I moving, how am I... So, for some reason, when people get the technique, naturally, it focuses on you. It focuses on the speaker. You ever had that sort of thing? You sort of get, okay, I know, focus on the audience for attention. Content's for them. Selling's for them. And technique, that's what I'm doing up here. And so when people are evaluating, they often say, here's a technique, and it's really about a speaker technique, but not about audience technique. You might be wondering, Tim, what the heck is an audience technique? An audience technique is simply when you leave here, hopefully you'll have learned something. And you know how to do something you didn't know how to do before. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Okay. Now it's clear in the abstract, discovered. But actually, what is technique? It's just this huge, huge challenge. So today, what I've come up with is a little bit of a game show called Guess the Technique. So I'll be giving you a bunch of techniques for a speech. I'll tell you what the speech topic is. And you guess, is this a speaker technique, something the speaker is doing on stage? Or is this an audience technique, something the audience is supposed to take away with them? So we'll start with that. So let's say you're giving a speech on, or someone's giving a speech on how to have a better life. Okay, here's a technique. Walking around on stage. Having different places on stage to stand. Now, is that more of a speaker technique or an audience technique? Speaker, right? Okay, good. Everyone agree with that? Speaker? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You can't even agree.
was...
He was thinking about it. All right, so that's more of a speaker technique. Good. That's speaker. All right. So if you're on stage and you start waving your hands or moving your hands or a lot of heavy gestures, is that more of a speaker technique or is that more a technique for the audience?
Speaker.
Speaker! Thank you. John. Anyone agree with that? John?
Yeah, right.
He's a union man. You got to agree with the guy or he'll have people come after you and just take you out. Okay. I think so too. It's a speaker technique. All right. Now let's say you're talking about on stage and you say, here's the way to get happiness. You want to get happiness by thinking happy thoughts. The more happy thoughts you think, the happier you're going to be. Is that a speaker technique or an audience technique? Audience? You agree?
Let's take a vote.
A little both?
A vote.
Oh, I think it's both. Well, Mara thinks it's an audience technique. So you're saying, you go on stage, you want to be happy or you think happy thoughts. Is that more a technique for a speaker on stage or for something the audience takes away with them? Mara says it's an audience technique.
I agree.
Ken agrees?
Audience technique.
All right. Anybody else?
I think it's both.
Okay. John thinks it's both.
Well,
But then John doesn't like me, we know that already.
yeah, well, do you feel happy?
All right, anybody else? Okay, that's where the confusion happens. Here's the thing, is that I think you're right, and Ken's right, and audience is half, John is half right. It's an audience technique because it's something the audience can take away and now will be able to do afterwards. It answers the question of, how do I do that? So it's an audience technique. Exactly, exactly. You will talk afterwards. But exactly, yes. Yes, an audience technique. All right. But notice the confusion. It's like all of a sudden this audience technique is confusing because it's focusing, as you're speaking, on your audience and what they're getting out of it. And I think a lot of speakers are thinking, I don't care what the audience is, I'm just here to move on stage. And that's the whole thing. Remember, your audience has to get something out of all this. There has to be something at the end of the day your audience gets out of it and they say, I can do that better. I now understand. All right, so we'll continue on. What are my time minutes? We're password protected here.
Yeah, it's about.
6 minutes. Whoa,
Yeah, it's about
time
6.
flies when you're having fun, right? Okay. Very good. All right, so one last one. You're on stage, and you want people to, don't worry. There's a technique of how to be happier. Don't worry. Don't worry about anything. Is that more an audience technique or a speaker technique?
It's an audience technique.
Audience, thank you, Ben. Everyone agree with that? Audience technique?
Yes.
Okay, Ken agrees. Mara? John is going to spit on me afterwards, but we'll get to it. What do you think, John?
I agree, but I'd like to know what the audience takes away from Don Blog. I kind of like
Well, the whole thing is, how do you become happier? Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. There was a song a while back. I
Smile.
don't remember.
Smile and be happy.
Smile and be happy. There you go. Okay, so
That's a
that's an
technique.
audience. That's an audience technique. All right, just to wrap everything up. It's pretty straightforward when you're speaking and you're evaluating a speaker to understand about attention, content, and so on, because that's naturally what you do. But because you're a speaker evaluating other speakers, you can get kind of trapped when it comes to technique and start thinking about technique is about your own technique, what you're moving on stage is speaker technique. Just remember, when you're evaluating here, and really in yourself too, the real question for technique is, what does the audience take away? How does the audience do that afterwards? Be audience focused in your technique. Don't be so worried about yourself moving around on stage, moving your arms, moving your hands, whatever. Be much more focused on the audience technique, and you will suddenly find that your nervousness goes away, you're smooth, you're more relaxed, time flies, no problem, you can speak whenever you want, people get engaged, they have a good time, all because you're focusing on that audience technique. So you start doing that, and you will develop and build and grow your speech so tremendously just by remembering that technique here is all about your audience.